Right now we welcome in Twins Executive VP, General Manager for the 5th season, Jeremy Zoll, joins us now. Jeremy, it's Brian Kenny. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
I know there's been changes at the top, and you're the top guy now, lead executive. You tell me about the job now and how it's changed with the Twins for you.
Yeah, ultimately it's still trying to just take it one day at a time. One of the things I love about the role is no 2 days look the same. And ultimately biggest difference is just working directly with Tom Pohlad, who has taken over as chairman and CEO, and having that direct line of communication with ownership. But we're building a really good partnership and trying to figure it out day by day.
How different is it when the buck stops with you, though? Again, Derek Falvey has been there, was there a number of years. I've had a number of guys say it is different when there's nobody to turn around, when it's like, no, this is my call. What's that like?
Yeah, it definitely feels a little bit different for sure, but ultimately love the team that I get to work with on a day-to-day basis, the relationship that I have with Derek Shelton and Tom and our whole lead group in the front office. So still feel good about it day by day and excited to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, Derek Shelton was your hire, brought back as a manager. It's strange. That used to be the normal way to hire a manager. Maybe a guy lost his job, was not his fault, was the club and that sort of thing. But that's kind of the anomalous hire now. What went into your decision?
Yeah, Shelty, I mean, first and foremost, the energy he brings is infectious, the relationships, his ability to connect with so many guys. He had a really good relationship with Byron Buxton and so many people within the organization. So to have Shelty come in, he's talked about it a lot, but his ability to have learned from his previous experiences in Pittsburgh have only served him for the best, and really excited to have that partnership going.
So where do you think you guys are now? Again, there were a lot of trades late last year. And yet, again, in this new era with 6 playoff teams each league, you're never that far away. Where do you think the Twins are?
Yeah, we entered the season really optimistic about the chance to surprise some people. Felt like the way the trade deadline went with some of the acquisitions we had, whether it was someone like Taj Bradley, who pitched really well 2 nights ago, or Mick Abel, who's going tonight, among so many others, that we were setting ourselves up to have some young guys take some real steps forward, still have Byron Buxton patrolling center field, and Luke Keaschall is someone that we feel has all the upside in the whole world. Joe Ryan at the top of the rotation. So I'm excited about where we're at and hoping to really push forward this year.
Byron Buxton is your star. He had a 3-hit night last night. I think I had him the number 2 center fielder in the game. He's staying on the field. What's different of the last 2 years?
Yeah, I think going back to entering last season for Byron, it was the first offseason in a while where he didn't have some type of procedure or nagging issue that he was still recovering from, and had a clean offseason. So that served him so well entering last season, and then had an unbelievable year last year, and he was able to back that up with another healthy offseason. So he's figured out some really good routines and protocols with our performance team, and knows his body really well at this point. So that's been huge for us.
I know you've been all up and down through the organization, player development, that sort of thing, too. Luke Keaschall, give me something on him. A homegrown Twin, drafted 2023. A different sort of player, nice all-around player. Tell me about him.
Yeah, Luke, from the moment we drafted him, all he's done is hit. Skyrocketed through the system, made his debut early last year, then unfortunately suffered a broken forearm, pretty quickly into his tenure. So it took a little while for him to get back from that, but then came back and just kept on hitting. He stole more bases than I think people expect him to, and just gives a really quality at bat, and feel really good about how his defense continues to progress. So it's an all-around package for Luke, and again, has all the upside in the world. It's
funny, he is the type of player, and we do this when we do top 10, and again, he had a good slash line. Like, his results are great, but there seems to be more than the results and the results data. Where are you on trying to figure that out? Guys that you like the cut of a guy's jib, we always say. Like, whether there's more to the guy than just the numbers that he's producing.
Yeah, I mean, Luke he's a competitor. It's often talked about, how good of a wrestler he was going back in his early days, and his drive to win is special. So the more guys that you can have like that on a team, the better off you can be. The way we went about the offseason, and some of the veterans we brought in, guys like Josh Bell and Victor Caratini, reunion for Taylor Rogers. Feel like those guys are really positively impacting the clubhouse and helping mentor our young guys that are looking to take steps forward. So definitely on our mind as we try to balance all the different factors at play.
Yeah, Jeremy, I'm fascinated by this, but your club is clearly aggressive on the strike zone challenges. You have the most batter challenges, the most total challenges. I think you're second in catcher challenges. Ryan Jeffers has added 8 extra strikeouts. So what did you do in spring training?
Yeah, spring training we were aggressive. Talked to the guys about when we talked about this even last year in spring training, wanted guys to be able to test the system, learn the limits, and use the challenges often in spring to get as much data as they could for themselves, so that we could learn as much as we could in that process. And I think this is still going to be an ebb and flow, and something we're going to keep evaluating over the course of the season. But Brian Jeffers has done an incredible job. Had a couple huge challenges last night, including a big one to get us out of the 8th inning in a jam. And Victor's done a nice job when he's been behind the plate as well. So still trying to find the right balance with catchers and hitters and all that stuff, but want to use spring training as a good test ground to bring into the season.
We're looking at these. Those are 2 tough pitches. Those were right on the edge. We've seen that a number of times. Again, Jeffers is look at him. He's fired up. Getting that. What extra, do you have him track pitches? Do you have a VR system set up where you just see pitches and you know where the zone is? What extra things do you do?
Yeah, during spring, the guys were getting feedback routinely. We have so much tech set up during bullpens and live BPs and all those things. So tried to give them as much feedback as possible, whether it was real time or whether it was reports, ultimately in between innings in a live BP or, what have you, and just trying to make sure they have that feedback on a regular basis so that they can keep recalibrating and dial that in as much as possible.
8 extra strikeouts for Jeffers. That's significant, right? Do you put a run value on that? That's significant.
Yeah, we definitely have different people upstairs working on all different kinds of calculations. But eight extra strikeouts is pretty cool. And he's earned a lot of trust from the pitchers on that. But showing some real skill and knowledge of the zone there, and hopefully keeps that rolling. All
right, Jeremy, we appreciate you coming out. I know it's chilly. We appreciate you coming outside.
The wind gusts are real, but we'll be ready to go. It's getting warmer by the day.
You're the lead executive. Get back inside. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us.